Hey, welcome to this meeting. We are February 26th. This is K8s-Infra meetings. And again, this meeting is against the code of conduct, so be excellent to each other. And with that, we can kickstart the meeting. Before we start, do we have a note taker?
I can take notes.
Okay, thank you. Do we want to do billing reports? Because
Not necessarily. The only thing that I am currently working on is a dashboard where we can basically see all our spend for the different clouds. And I also got access to IBM. Yeah, to IBM Cloud. So I can also have a look there.
where do you want to put that dashboard?
Fun fact, it's again a Locker Studio. And then I would just
Wait,
basically
we decide to not use Local Studio. Why are we going back to this?
we decided to not use Locker Studio because the data that we put into the Locker Studio was wrong.
But why not fix that?
Because it's only GCP data. It's the problem is that the data that we have in Locker Studio is in BigQuery, and I don't have access to this BigQuery table, and the data that goes in there is without the discounts, and also it is missing AWS.
Okay, let me rephrase my question. Why not fixing the issue? We have Local Studio and extend that dashboard to include more cloud provider.
This is also something that we can do, but then I would need access to the BigQuery table.
Just find an issue, and I think we can provide you access to it, because basically it's this. The access for you will be the same as the other cloud provider. We just
Yeah.
we just decide set up it. So I'm like, okay, let me phrase that again. I'm not saying we should like fix what we have, but I feel like if we're gonna use Local Studio to centralize as a dashboard for everything, we should just expand what we have. Now, if you feel like it's easier for you to have, because you're gonna pull the data from Azure, IBM,
AWS.
and basically, and you need to feed that somewhere, which might be BigQuery.
Yeah, currently it's all CSVs because all of the data that I get is basically CSV data.
Yeah, my knowledge of Local Studio go to the point where I know that the best database for Local Studio will be BigQuery.
Yeah, definitely it is, because it makes
Okay.
everything easier to navigate, and you can also do more shenanigans with the queries.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think up to you. Either we provide you access to the existing one, or we like create a new project and a new BigQuery data. Just find an issue for it. And go from there.
Okay, let's do this.
So
Because
Datadog didn't go well.
Datadog is still like, we started reaching out to them, they haven't come back yet, and I really want to get it off, get a report out of my back, so that we have like an automated way where I can say like, hey, this are the KPIs that we have, and these are the numbers that we have, and everything looks fine, and so that we can also basically reduce the time that we spend over billing reviews.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so we skip the billing part. That's fine. Well, I didn't see anything specific here, so I'm like, if anyone has a question regarding billing currently, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we should just skip it. So the update we have is basically we now have access to IBM Cloud. Mohammed talked to IBM folks, and I think the intent is basically extend our existing infrastructure to by doing some integration or set up a new broadcaster running on IBM Cloud. I think that's like the update I have. So maybe in the next meeting we might get more update.
By
But
the way, do we have a budget from IBM Cloud? Or is it like just here's the account and use it?
I think the donation was not communicated to us. What I know is basically we have access to an IBM Cloud account and we can use it. Now, whatever threshold we have or the budget we have, I don't know. I think we need to talk to CNCF about this. Okay, good. Next thing is like we have like I opened basically a draft for the annual report of last year. So unfortunately, none of the leads are here. So if anyone catch this recording, please add things we did last year they mentioned in the draft so we can submit the report by end of, I think the deadline is this Friday. So I will try to come up with something for review by Friday. Okay. Uh, next is 3H. So yeah, I'm trying to do 3H now every meeting we have. So we basically go over the things we currently basically provide updates through recordings about the things we are doing per milestones. Okay. Okay. Let me start by the end. Okay, we need to do CA rotation for the GK cluster. We have one cluster was done this Sunday, thanks to Mohammed. It's been working well, and I think we need to plan for the other one. We should be done before April. Yeah, I think that's the only update I've done. Commitment, we need to buy commitment for this year. We'll talk to the leads about this and see what's up. How I think we need to reach a consensus about basically how much we want to buy for this year. The migration is done, I think, because now I think we have an invite. Yeah, the old ML is locked. Yes, if that you are mute.
Yeah, sorry. Regarding the commitments, are we currently pending for that on what Mario's doing regarding the reports? Or do we have
No.
sufficient transparency?
We have the we did, I think like in the last meeting or maybe 2 meetings ago, we did an analysis on basically the data of last year. which is basically available through the GCP console, and we basically
Mhm.
it's either we keep the current rate we have or basically get something lower. So,
Is
but
is
we
it?
had we had a conversation about this before. Yeah.
Yeah, because last year was also themed with the migration of the workloads from GCP to
Yeah.
AWS managed clusters. So are we
Yeah.
taking into account that traction or that direction
Yeah. Yeah.
as of
Yeah.
still now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the migration was just well, basically was like kind of an exception in the annual consumption, but
Yes.
we're still basically we were still under the commitment we bought for last year, even with
Gotcha.
that. So I think like
Okay.
we try now to basically either buy the same rate we have or buy a lower rate, because we can go higher, because there was like I think 10K remaining to be consumed by end of like last year. So we're trying
Mhm.
to that's why I say basically it's more like we had a conversation about this last time. So I would try to ping people again to basically get consensus of basically what we want to do.
Who are the biggest cost factors on that? Is it
More,
mostly on, I think with the previous discussion and previous meeting was just the hosting cost and data cost to some degree, right?
yeah, the commitment is only focused on compute engine,
Oh,
which is
gotcha.
basically CPU memory and those kind of things.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't include database. We
No,
don't include storage in that.
no, previous meetings we talked about the whole consumption of packages and charts and resources. So that's not okay, that's more of a
No,
savings plan commitments. Gotcha. The compute
yeah,
commitments. Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you for the
that's why
clarification.
AWS, yeah, that's what AWS call it. We basically call it like CUD. Like, yeah, it's only mostly compute in some extent, because they also include other SKUs in that, but it's like it's
Mhm.
mostly compute.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, for the migration is done. I think we can close it. And some celebrations. Oh, I'll put that later. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Oh wow. Hit a bug. Staging image to alpha registry is in progress. Currently, what's happening? So there's like there are two things happening right now. Is mostly like we set up new alpha registry repository for people requesting that, and we're also doing a in-place migration for the GCR repository, because basically we are 2 weeks away from the first deadline, which is basically by March 18, we are no longer allowed to push to the GCR repository. So yeah, this thing is in progress. Okay, duplicate turn down data. I think this is like not really priority, but we want to do this this year. So I'm tracking down. I think Ben's supposed to take care of this. Yeah, and the rest is in progress. Migration of K8s is going slowly. I was told by CNCF that basically Mario will be involved in this, so to help with.
Yeah.
I don't know on which capacity, but yeah, thank you for doing that.
Marco will basically ping you, so we will hopefully work on this week, depending if how Marco can reach you.
Well, this is a multi-step process to basically walk away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, it's fine to walk this week so we make progress, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it will not
expectation
be
is
finished.
basically, yeah, is basically it's gonna take a while to basically, not a while, but there's like different step to make sure migration is like is moving.
Yeah. And the sooner we are done, the better it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And those two basically are the same thing. We need to reevaluate basically the instance type we use for the real cluster. I think that being Mark about this. We talked, so we need to double check how we can like change the instance type. I think pick the instance type and change it. That's mostly what's need to happen, and that's it. And the last thing is like is basically similar to basically 3961. And GCR to Alpha registry is in progress. So the only update is basically we're doing in place upgrade and also set up new AR registry. Otherwise, I think we are done here. Any question, concern? Nope. So I think I can give you back 38 minutes of your time. Okay, going once, going twice, and thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Have a nice
Right, have a
night.
good one.
Bye bye.